Welcome back to episode 345 of the Guy and Guns podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your other host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about guns and the responsible Christian gun owners' interest. On this week's show, we'll be talking about Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
Veteran, you got like veteran on your shirt, like veteran.
I ordered one.
You ard one.
I ordered.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Indeed.
And some other cool stuff. First of all, we want to thank our bandwidth sponsor, Primary Arms. I am going to share with you guys a cool thing. So, if you go to firearmsradio.net, right here, you can see it. And this is what pops up. And every time you go here, there's a new discount code every month. This month, it's FRN. And it's got what all that gets you down here in the bottom. I'm going to click on that and you'll see how this thing works. So I'm going to click on the code and then it's going to take you over to Primary Arms. And look, they're giving away a Springfield Armory Hellion Bullpup.
Ooh.
And they got, this is the special. They got this rifle. They got a discount on it and you get a bunch of extra stuff if you use that FRN code. So go over and check out the guys and you get $20 off your first order. There you go. All kinds of cool deals going on over. So go over there and check out Primary Arms. Use our link if you would, please. That is firearmsradio.net/PA. And when you do that, you'll see what the newest discount code is. And this month, in the month of November, it's FRN. And every month it's going to be changing. So you'll have a different code every month. It'll show you what those deals are. So check those guys out. We appreciate them sponsoring our show. We also want to thank, who else we want to thank? We want to thank Firearms Radio Network. Firearms Radio Network is got all kinds of cool shows over there. They put all that content up for you guys to download at your convenience. Any kind of show that you can think of, we probably got in the Firearms Radio Network. We got four-wheeler guys. We got people that do long range shooting. We got we like shooting, which they're just a bunch of gun nuts. And we got they're cool guys, and they're funny. They're more funny than Doug and I. We're just old farts, but they're funny youngsters. You know, they're cooler than we are and all that stuff. So you can check those guys out. Some shows are not as family friendly, but you know you can check them out if you think they're good for your kids to watch. You can let your kids watch, but go over and check out some of the other shows and let them know that we sent you all over there, and appreciate them putting all of our 345 shows out there for you guys to download at your convenience, going back over the last almost 10 years. Also, we want to thank Patriot Patch Company. As you can see, here is patriotpatch.co, and you can check out all kinds of cool patches. Doug, you got some there. I'll zoom back out here in a second.
Do.
But they got gift cards, they got shirts, they got pop culture patches, they got this In God We Trust patch. I got a bunch of those. Patch of the Month Club, which is what Doug's got there. They got ammunition patches. They've got all kinds. Cleaning mats, stickers, custom. They do custom logo work. So if you got a design like our design back here has been done by Patriot Patch Company, they did the design back here work and worked with me about what we want it to look like. So go over and check out patriotpatch.co and give them a little bit of love. We would appreciate letting them know that you appreciate them sponsoring our show. They are every month sending us cool patches and sending us love in the form of little pieces of checks. And we really appreciate that. Now Doug can show you his patch of the month. We got two patches this month. Got turkey one and the other one's sort of green. You can't make it out. It's got something. It's a guy wearing the surfboard.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then
there's the American Express one.
The coolest one that I really like, they're not going to be able to see it, unfortunately.
It looks like American Express card.
It's green. It's an American Express, but it says American Defense.
Cool.
For arms, ammunition, and Gear only. It's pretty cool. I like that.
Excuse me. Don't mean to cough in y'all's ears. But go over and check out all the cool stuff over there from our show sponsors. We appreciate their sponsorships, and it helps pay some of the expenses, offset some of the costs. I mean, we're not getting rich out here, but it does help offset a lot of the expenses, things like that. So go over there and check them out, please. Um, FRN. Let's see. So the primary arms code again this month is FRN, and they want us to talk about the Expo arms. They sent me an Expo arms upper and an Expo arms um, lower receiver, lower blank. I haven't put it together yet, and they've sent all kinds of cool things to check out. But they got Expo arms, all kinds of Expo arms rifles, parts like uppers and lowers. They partner with brands like Geisley and Forward Controls Design, and they are extreme value. So make sure you check out Expo Arms over on Primary Arms' site. All right, that's got all of our sponsors covered. This
So
week's activities has been a couple weeks now. What have you been up to, Doug?
I thought it was funny. Primary arms is.
Yep.
Let's see. The God Side Sportsman's Daily Devotional, and I got another one that I've been. I don't have it in here next to my chair. I do it in the morning, so I can't remember what the name of it was, but it's pretty cool. A little daily devotional. Gun Side, of course, everyday carry. Deer season has arrived in Georgia. Gun season opened up 2 weeks ago, I guess it was now, and I got lucky and I killed a nice 10 point opening morning.
Woo-hoo.
Had him on the ground by 9:30, 30 all six. Boom! He was DRT, dead right there. Didn't flinch, didn't move. So that
Didn't
was a
have to
good
fight
thing.
a snake over him or nothing.
I didn't have to fight a snake or nothing over him. He was done. So
Deal.
that was pretty cool. Hey, I did pick up a bunch of ammo uh, last Sunday. Um, my wife's uncle passed away several months ago, and her aunt moved up here from Savannah, and she called Wendy the other day and told her, she said, "Hey," she said, "y'all come up here to the house." She said, "I got some ammo I want to give Doug. He can just take it and do whatever." And so we went up. I'm thinking, probably 2 boxes of 22 and some loose shotgun shells.
Mm.
Oh no, no! It was 11 boxes of 30-06.
Woo.
They are full metal jacket for an M1 Garand,
Oh wow.
and I had 14 boxes of 50 rounds for a 30 cal for the M1 carbine.
Cool.
So I mean, and she had a lot. There's a lot of 9mm, a lot of 45. I mean, I think it was 6 ammo cans full of stuff,
Wow.
and I was like, uh, "Where's the guns that all these went to?" And she said her son had already taken those and they had sold them. I was like,
Oh no.
"Oh," I said, "I wish you had let me know." I said, "I would have gladly bought some of that stuff from you if I know you were going to sell it." But anyway,
Mhm.
so I do not have an M1 Garand, and I do not have a 30 cal M1 carbine.
I thought you had 30-06.
I got a 30-06, but um, this is the full metal jacket stuff, so I'm not going to, I'm not going to shoot
Oh.
a deer. I can't shoot a deer with that because it doesn't expand.
Hey, you can blow up milk jugs though and have fun.
Well, yeah, you probably could, but I'm probably going to
Shoot
wind up,
snakes with them.
huh?
Shoot some
I got a
snakes with
shoot. I got a 44 Magnum for that, buddy,
them.
and a Glock. um, so I got quite a bit of ammo. So I posted the ammo out because there's a couple of like old military rifle sites and stuff on MeWe and different things, and
Yeah.
I posted out. I thought $20 a box was a pretty good deal because I went and looked up the ammo, and it was going for 30 plus.
Yeah.
So make somebody a good deal. I'm like, hey, if you take it all, I'll make you a good deal on it. And I
Some of that
probably,
old original tin can stuff is corrosive, so you gotta.
yeah, these are in these are in regular boxes. So,
Oh, okay.
but I want to say he probably got it. He probably got it from that CMP program, and it's the
Oh, yeah.
only thing I can think of. I'm not real sure, but anyway, it's I
Well,
got a
that
lot of it.
CMP stuff comes in the original tins, the original tin cans with a
Oh, does
little,
it?
yeah,
I've
that
never
you get for
seen
everyone.
I've never seen Full Metal Jacket 30-06 ammo.
Oh, yeah.
I mean that you just buy unless you were,
Military surplus, yeah.
yeah, unless you were feeding it through a grant or something, or what is it, 1903 A1?
A bar,
Yeah, BAR can shoot it. So I hit a
be
couple of
linked
guys
for
up
that.
in my gun range. I hit the president up today, and because a bunch of the guys up there, they have all those older rifles and stuff. I wish I had one, but I just can't. I just can't pay 3 grand for a grand right now.
Yeah. I mean, they used to sell them. I mean, 15 years ago, you could get nice ones for around
Cheap.
$1,000. Yeah.
Hmm.
Anywhere from, well, depending on the grade of them, they were anywhere from 700 to 1,200. Sniper versions were 1,400 and stuff like that. They're astronomical now if you can find them.
Right. But
Cool.
I got a bunch of it. So if you are one of those people and you live close to me and you're looking for some feed for your M1 Garand or your M1 carbine, I can hook you up, make you a good deal on some. Anyway, let's see what else have we been doing. I am headed to South Dakota this week.
Woohoo. Just in time
Flying
for
out.
snow.
Yeah, it's going to be a little chilly. I think the high, the 3 days we're out there, is going to be 28, and it's going to be down to about 12 at night. So
It's not the cold, it's the wind that kills
it's
you out there.
it's the wind. Last time I was out there, it blew 40 miles an hour nonstop the entire time we were there and never slowed down.
That's South Dakota, man.
Yeah, and there ain't no
Just
trees to
ask
block
Jake.
nothing.
It's
There is nothing to block the wind,
Mm-mm.
but it's gonna be fun. I learned my lesson last year. I took too much stuff last year, so I'm gonna take the stuff I need and not mess around. But we might get to duck hunt. They called me and told me to make sure I bring my duck calls, and so I will have those. But I got a feeling the lake that is there that we might get to hunt is probably gonna be frozen, so they might be gone by then. Uh,
That cold snap came through earlier this week, so yeah, it might be frozen by then. I don't know.
I was real concerned, Troy. I didn't think I was going to get a chance. I didn't think I was going to be able to go.
I
Uh,
heard
3 weeks ago, I took a flu shot at work,
mandatory.
and I took it on a Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, I didn't feel the hottest in the world because it always makes me feel bad. It makes
Hmm.
me sick. By Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, my knee started hurting. Thursday, it just felt like it was just bone on bone. I mean, just devastating. And by Thursday, by the time I got home from work, I couldn't even walk. It was so bad. So I was supposed to go deer hunting. I took a vacation day for Friday to go deer hunting, and I had to call my buddy and tell him, yeah, I can't go. And I said, I can't even walk. He said, buddy, you must be in bad shape if you're pass up an opportunity to deer hunt. I like, tell me about it. So Thursday it was horrible, and I it was bad enough Thursday that before I ever left work, I called my orthopedic surgeon that has fixed my shoulder and fixed my knee at the time, and got an appointment. She's like, "Well, we can get you in on the 16th." I'm like, "Look, I got to be on a plane on the 14th of November, and I need to be able to walk before that. I need to see him." And she said, "Well," she said, "I got a cancellation for the first or second, whatever that Tuesday was." I said, "I'll take it." So I limped all weekend. I had to walk on a cane just so I could walk. It hurt so bad. So I go see the doc, and he looks at it. He X-rays it. He said, "Man, you got a lot of arthritis in there." I like, I know. I've had it for a long time. That's no surprise. Is anything out of whack? And he said, "No, everything looks fine other than arthritis." He said, "What'd you do to tweak it?" I said, "I didn't do anything." I said, "I took a flu shot on Monday," and I explained to him. I said, "Could that flu shot have done this to me?" He said, "Oh, 100% it probably did." I was like, "Really?" And I told my wife that, and she didn't quite believe me. I don't think that it did that, but he confirmed. He said, "What it does, you get that flu shot, it goes in and attacks arthritis in your body."
Hmm.
And I got arthritis in that knee, and it just, oof, it attacked with a vengeance. So he gave me a cortisone shot in the knee and got me pumped up. He said if I didn't feel better and couldn't walk any better by today, come back and he'd give me another one. But it's Tuesday. I was feeling pretty good. Wednesday is better. Today's I'm still babying it a little bit, but at least I can walk and I'm not in excruciating pain now. So I can go to South Dakota now. I just have to take it slow and easy. But that's some bad stuff, dude. I did not like it at all. First time it
Mm,
ever did that to me.
yikes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, all right.
Back
I
in
got your
business now,
stuff.
man. That's it. What you been up to?
Well, on the God side, daily Bible reading. We've been attending South Fork pretty regular. I don't think we've missed any except for when we went to Florida. We went to Christ Fellowship when we was down there. And been attending a Sunday school class. I don't know if it's the class for us or not. It's just a different type of class than what we're used to. So there's a couple other classes, but most of those people are older than me, a lot by a lot. And the class younger than us is a whole lot younger than us. So I don't know. We're gonna have to figure out something. I don't. Well, it'll be all right. We'll figure it out. But been attending Sunday school class, Wednesday night services, things like that. Our pastor, you guys, if you would be in prayer for him, he has developed thrombosis, deep vein thrombosis, blood clots in the legs, and he's got a bunch of them in his lungs. And they caught that sometime Wednesday. They found out about right before the prayer meeting on Wednesday night. Um, so he's at home on medication to try to knock out those clots, and he's wearing the socks and stuff to keep your pressure on your legs and all that stuff. So he's in a little bit of a rough situation. His name is Jonathan Carl. So
Mm.
if y'all would remember him in your prayers, had a little bit of a scary time, I'm sure, for him and his wife. Anytime you face a uh, possibility of dying from something like that, and a lot of people getting blood clots these days. A lot of young guys getting blood clots.
Perfectly
So
safe though.
yeah, it's well, y'all remember him? Oh, we did see someone I have not seen for a long time. Your cousin
Which
Ray
one?
and Vaughn McDowell were at church Sunday.
Really?
They hadn't been there since June. I know you know about he got like a spider bite on his foot.
Yeah.
About lost his foot, part of his leg. They saved it, but boy, he was bad shape for a long time, and both of the health has sort of been pretty bad shape. He's what 87, 80. No, he's 89. I think his
Mm.
dad was a veteran. He
Yep.
was in he died in World War II, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're killed in France.
So got to speak with him a little while. He was tickled to see that we joined since he'd been gone. He didn't realize that we were members now. And Vaughn was there, and Squeaky was there with him.
Oh, really?
You know Squeaky, right?
Yep.
She was there with him, which was a change. She didn't get to come to church a lot because she takes care of Keith, but she was there with him and helping them get around. So it was good to see them. So on the gun side, of course, my everyday carry, and I got something in since the last time we were on. I did a thing.
You did do a thing.
I've been wanting the Henry 4570 government.
That's a big old hole into the thing, man.
That's a big hole. It's I love lever actions, but she's empty. Chamber's empty. No rounds in the tube. I got them right here though, so if I hear a T-Rex start thumping around upstairs, I can go up there and take them out. It's got the primary arm Cyclops red dot, and it's if you're familiar with the ACOG type sights, it's got the horseshoe top, like a inverted horseshoe, and then the chevron in the middle of it, and then it's got lines for the different ranges, different yardage, so you can know how much to hold over. And I got a whole bunch of ammo for it to see what it likes to eat. I think it'll eat anything, but see what how well it can pattern with which types of ammo. But I got reloading dies and all the stuff I need to make my own, roll my own, as it were. The reloading guys say. Uh, but I've got everywhere from 250 grain flat nose lead bullets up to 500 grain bullets for subsonic. So I am in love with this gun. There are so many things you can do with with the lever actions. They got new forearms you put on M-lock type stuff, and lights and lasers and gizmos and gadgets. But I just want to keep it pretty clean. I don't think I'm going to put anything on it. If anything, I've got a mount to put on, like a night light for if we want to take it hunting for varmints or something like that. But that's a big gun for varmint, so probably might set it up for shooting hogs sometime. That'd be fun to shoot a hog with a 500 grain suppressed bullet
I was gonna say,
traveling.
is it threaded?
No, but you can set it off and get threaded. You can bet, but they have a version that's got a threaded barrel, and I've been trying to look at, but man, they're like $1,800. I mean, and everybody wants them. As soon as they come in, they're gone. I've been on the waiting list with my friend dealer for 2 years. He's had someone order. He got one in. He said, "Nah, it's mine." And he had got another one in. And so I finally went on, I was on Gunbroker, just looking to see what was out there, and they had one that was a buy now at a lower price than I've seen at a dealership. I thought, okay, I'm gonna take it, and so I picked it up. But I like it a lot, as they say.
You my buddy Andy has one. I think it's a Henry, threaded.
Yeah.
It's the all black one, and he finally got his suppressor for it, and that thing is quiet.
Oh yeah.
Man, it's quiet.
We shot him down there at Iraqi Veteran Range Day,
Yeah, yeah, it
and
was
I
quiet.
mean, you couldn't tell because everybody else was shooting. There was 100 people shooting on the line, so but there wasn't a big blast like you usually hear. But man, I just love that round. People are like, "Why you need a round that big for?" Like,
Why not?
why not? Yeah, yeah. If we could have a 30 millimeter cannon, why not? Yeah.
My my
I
buddy
just
Rick's
I've always loved the 45-70, and it's so easy to reload and stuff too.
my buddy Rick's on here with us tonight, watching live, and he got good news yesterday. He finally he got his gun muffler was
Woohoo!
approved, and he got it picked up today. So he is in he's in the quiet club now.
Cool. I've got two in the barrel, in the pipe. We'll see when they come out. It's already been 2.5, 3 months. The dealer I was at said they've been getting them in 6 months. About what's they're averaging.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what everybody else is averaging, but they said they've been getting them about 6 months. So maybe by February, January, February.
Yeah. I need to get I need to get another one. You know what they say? Once you get your first suppressor,
Hmm.
you're ready to get a second one,
Yeah,
then a
yeah.
third one.
I've been shooting my little 22, my little integrally suppressed 22 Ruger I've had for 15, 20 years, a long time. The baffles in it are starting to get in pretty bad shape. I don't know if I can get new baffles for that or not. I don't even know if the company that makes it, that made it, is even in business anymore. But if
Really?
I can, I'm going. They're aluminum. You know how corrosive 22 ammo is. Just dirty and nasty, and the stuff you have to use to clean it off is corrosive. So hopefully I can get maybe some titanium ones or something to replace them. But I don't know how that works. If it can be difficult, I'm sure that's the way I'll have to do it. So that was my gun stuff. Yeah, I got a lot of reload stuff in it. I found a great deal on 308. And you don't have a 308, do you?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I was going to send it to you. I thought, no, you don't have a 308. But it was like 47 cents a round shipped for white box. No, it was Lake City 308. And so I went ahead and picked up a lot of that. And because we shoot 308 quite a bit. And I found a really good deal on 5.56. It was 31 cents. Lake City, yeah, Lake City uh, bulk pack, 1,000 round bulk pack was like 30. It was 37 cents brass, and it wasn't the green tip. It was regular 55 grain rounds, and I mean everyone in our family has at least one AR-15. All my girls do, and my son, and my other son, and my wife, and me. I've got quite a few of those. So we go through that quite a bit. And then on the finding reloading supplies is still difficult. Large rifle primers are still hard to find. I've got quite a few, but if I load up everything I've got for 4570 and 308, I won't have enough primers. So I'm always looking for large rifle primers. So if you guys see them, send me a link. I would appreciate it. And powder, I've found some 4570 powder. It's a little bit easier to find than like your powders for your 5.56 223. Those powders are harder to find, but in 9mm, I've got a whole lot of handgun powder. But for these big bore rifles, they like a different type of powder. Excuse me. I have been drinking coffee and it's talking back to me. Let's see. I saw my gun stuff on the farm side. The crops are all in. Everything's got in. It is dry as can be. Well, it was until this morning. It started raining in the wee hours this morning. We may have got an inch, and the ground goes, and it's like, where's the rest? Because it's so dry here. It's crazy. We had over Roanoke. There was a huge fire over there. It was burning up forest and everything over there. They've been fighting it for, I don't know, 3 days or something. This rain hopefully has put it out. Uh, but we need more rain. The winds here, along with the dry, it's been bad. So we could use any more rain that y'all don't need to send it our way. On the ham stuff, just checking in the nets. I didn't go to the Stone Mountain Ham Fest. I meant to go, but I had some things come up. I had to go to somewhere, something for my daughter. Oh, my daughter had a party here at the house over the weekend. I had to drive the tractor for the hay wagon, take them on a hay ride. So we did that, and it was calm enough that we were able to have a bonfire, a small one. We had a water hose like right up to the thing, so if any sparks started to come out, we could douse it. But had it ring and all that stuff. So they had a great time. All the volleyball girls, well, not all of them, but most of them came. So that she had a good time for her fall party. So that's pretty much it. EDC carrying the Shadow Systems XR920 as usual, and my Super Tuck, Crossbreed Super Tuck, and of course got the Henry 4570 sitting here beside me. And then my pocket carry has been the Ruger SP101 XL, the little spurless 357 mag. And I'm really looking at another Henry. I love those octagon with the case hardened receivers. Those things are beautiful. They're just absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's more like a safe queen kind of gun, but I don't know. I don't really need it, but they're just beautiful guns.
I
They're just
have one in 44 Magnum.
yeah. I've looked at that. I told Gunner he's been wanting to travel the world or travel at least the United States, and his truck. He's got everything set up so he can just jump in the back of the truck and sleep like Ron used to do. Ron had a
Hmm.
mattress in the back of his truck. He just traveled around like that. And Gunner's been wanting to do that. And I said, well, you can't take pistol in a lot of the states that you're talking about going to, but you could take you a 40. You could take you a lever action in 357 or 44 Magnum. So you might consider getting that. And since you can't take a pistol in a lot of places, but those are 50 state legal. So especially in a pistol caliber like that, you can have a lot more rounds. Might be a good defensive option. Couldn't really
Yeah.
conceal it, but you can't really conceal in those states anyway. Let's see. That's pretty much my gun setup. What you got?
Oh,
Usual?
I got the. I've been toting around the Sig P365. I
Yep.
really like this little joker. It's quite nice and it's easy to conceal. It's perfect for a little pocket gun, man. It's
Yeah. Somebody had a great deal on those the other day. The like the plain Jane one without any frills. It was like two
Yeah.
ninety nine.
What?
$2.99. They must have had a big purchase on, but they didn't. They didn't have any Gucci stuff on. They were just regular sights and the standard size one. I don't
Mine's the
think. I
stand.
don't.
Mine's
I think it came with
mine's the
three mags.
mine's the standard size one,
Yeah.
and but it does have night sights on it. So
Yeah. I don't think that one had night. The ones I saw had night sights, but
I
you can
got.
fix that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You guys a joke.
I too got a little bit of a joke. Um, Mom was browsing in a store when a saleswoman offered assistance. Mom admitted she didn't have anything particular in mind, and the pair started chatting. The woman quickly learned that Mom was retired. Interested, she confessed that she too was considering retirement. Mom immediately started telling her how much she liked no longer working and how the salesman would enjoy it too. Finally, convinced by Mom's enthusiasm, she asked, "Well, how long have you been retired?" Mom said, "This is my first day, day one," and she is loving it.
Yeah. I loved it for about the first 2 weeks, and then I, I realized I had to get up and do something. I was going to die really quick. But then everybody found out that I was sort of retired, and then they're like, "Hey, well, since you're not doing anything, let me give you something to do."
Right.
And that was the end of that fun.
You gotta stay busy, man.
Yeah, yeah. If you don't, you'll turn into a couch potato, and then they'll find you, kicked over, and don't get to enjoy it.
I don't know what I would do if I tried to. I mean, I retired once, but I didn't really get to retire. I mean, I was working. I actually left the Air Force in May and had my retirement ceremony, but I was still on active duty until July the 1st or August 1st, sorry. And, but I'd already started the new job by the end of May. So I was actually had two jobs. So I never really got to take a break.
Yeah, yeah. Mine was never really a break. I mean, I was always working. Most of the time, most of my life, I've worked two jobs. Uh, so when I retired from the one job, the other one just sort of got more busy. Uh, and then I started farming again. Well, farmers laugh at me, but I started farming some, not like a real farmer. My mother used to call me a gentleman farmer. I had people to do things for me. Uh,
They-
I, I just oversaw it, but I've done a lot of work myself. I mean, I baled my own hay this year, rolled my own hay, cut my own hay, raked my own hay, take care of my cows, fix fences when they get broken. I mean, I do some farming.
there
Tried
you
to do
go.
the garden. We just wasn't that good at the gardening. We're gonna have to work on that. I'm just getting too old and crotchety to get down. My grandfather and grandmother raised garden in their 70s. I'm like, man, they all were tough. You out there and rake. You out there and hoe every morning. Sun comes up and they get all their work done by 10 o'clock. Enjoy the rest of the day. All right, Bible verse this week. Let's see. Oh, you got this day in history,
This day in history, it kind of leads into our main topic tonight.
right?
Um, Armistice Day ends World War One. At the 11th hour on the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, the Great War ends. At 5 a.m. that morning, Germany, bereaved of manpower and supplies and faced with imminent invasion, signed the armistice agreement with the Allies in a railroad car outside, and I cannot pronounce that name of that town. Come
Covered wagons, as Dad would say.
Covered wagons in France. The First World War left 9 million soldiers dead and 21 million wounded, with Germany, Russia, Austria, Hungary, France, Great Britain, each losing nearly a million or more lives. In addition,
Jeez.
at least 5 million civilians died from disease, starvation, and exposure.
Wow. War
That was today.
is today, 104 years ago.
It was.
104 years ago.
I
Wow.
told him it was pretty cool today. Veterans, make it count today. Today you're a hero. Tomorrow you'll be back to domestic terrorist.
You probably still domestic terrorists today. They just didn't say anything about it.
Well, they're celebrating us today, though.
Yeah. Celebrating today. Enemy war. Yeah. It sort of tells you the mindset, of the ruling class right now. Bible verse, this week, this show, Psalm 144, 1 and 2. I had that ready to go. It disappeared. Let me do that again. I apologize for my unprofessionalism. Share. Here we go. Psalm 144, verses 1 and 2. Blessed be the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle. He is my steadfast love and my fortress, my stronghold and my deliverer, my shield, and he in whom I take refuge, who subdues peoples under me. Of course, this is a psalm of David. David, of course, was a warrior king. Of course, he first killed off the Nephilim giant Goliath, cut his head off, and chased into the camp of the the Philistines,
Hmm.
and then everybody else that was hiding behind rocks come out and started running with him and led him into battle and destroyed the Philistines that day. So God has a purpose for soldiers and Marines, as Professor Paul was talking about yesterday. Marines are not soldiers. Marines are Marines. Sailors are sailors. He was going on about that. But God recognizes, and the soldier asked Jesus, I'm taking this paraphrasing here. I'm not going to quote the exact verse. I can pull it up for you. But the soldiers asked Jesus, what should they do now that they've become saved? And he says, well, don't take bribes. Don't accuse people of doing the wrong things, and don't, uh, do anything corrupt, and do your job. I mean, you have a job to do, and that is to exercise the authority of the government and the actions that it requires to defend the country, to do those things. But don't use those powers to attack people or to defraud people or to use your force, your strength, your knowledge to harm people or extort money from them, things like that. So Jesus recognized there's a need for soldiers. And if you are a soldier and you struggle with, what would God say about, you killing people? There's a great book called, what's it called, Doug?
Talking about Greg's book,
Time to Kill, The
Time to
Myth
Kill.
of Christian Pacifism. Sorry, Greg Hopkins is the author. He's been on the show multiple times. Great guy. And it will help put your mind at ease that there is a time to kill and not murder. there's a difference between killing and murdering. Murdering is doing something that out of the hatred of your heart. Killing is a defensive act or an act of war where you are employing capital uh, punishment, as it were, for as a police officer or wherever. If you have to take someone's life, not that you want to do that, but you're doing that in the exercise of your commission as a police officer or a military person. But great book, especially if you're considering concealed carry. You need to know, all right, I'm going to go ahead and shoot if the things are met. If I'm in peril or my family's in peril or someone I care about and love and willing to defend with my life from serious harm or death, um, am I willing to do that? You need to decide that before you strap on a gun and walk out in public, because you don't want to get into a vapor lock right there when you need to decide, okay, I'm going to shoot this person, not going to shoot this person. And not, give a warning shot and then get shot because you've identified yourself as being the one holding the gun. If you're going to do it, you need to be clear in your head before you make that decision. And that's
Hmm.
something I'm sure, I'm not been in the military, but I'm sure that's something that every person who is a Christian that signed up for the military has struggled with. And, is God okay with me doing this? What does God say about it? Well, God acknowledges that there's a need. The government is instituted by God for uh, upholding law, protecting of the people, the citizens, the people of their country, and same as a police officer, things like that. You are there to be a peacemaker. You're not there to use your powers to do harm. You're there to use them for good. So as long as you're doing for a good purpose and by the rules that are set out there for you, it's a good thing. All right, so that was our Bible verse again, Psalms 144, 1 and 2. Main topic, Veterans Day, and I'm going to read to you the official Veterans Day thing here. Veterans Day is a legal holiday dedicated to American veterans of all wars, and Veterans Day, of course, occurs today in 2022, November 11th. In 1918, we talked about that earlier. Armistice Day was when that sort of was set. Armistice Day preceded the official Veterans Day. And then in 1938, November 11th, became a federal holiday in the United States. And after the aftermath of the World War One and Korean War, and Armistice Day became known as Veterans Day. So Armistice Day was officially a federal holiday, and then after World War II and Korean, it became known as Veterans Day. So for the last, what, 80 something years,
Hmm.
86 years, it's been known as Veterans Day. So, what is it about Veterans Day? We're recognizing those who have served in the military and wars, right? So, these are active military that were serving during a war, or is it all veterans? The veteran is a veteran of a war, right? It's not someone who's just served in the military. Is that right?
A veteran is anybody that served,
Okay.
not necessarily in a war, but you're a veteran when you serve,
Oh, okay.
when you enlisted and took that oath.
Right. So that makes you a veteran. Then, but a veteran of a foreign war, that's a different classification,
Right.
right?
Yeah. That's for if you want to become a member of the VFW,
Okay.
you have to have fought or been in a war at a wartime.
Yeah. Now, you served in Operation what, Enduring Freedom? What was it over there in
There's a storm.
Desert Storm? Okay.
Yep.
I couldn't remember the exact. There was like two there back to back. I'm trying to remember. One of them
We had
was,
we had Desert Shield to start with,
yeah.
and then we went from a shield to the storm, and then it went after what 100 hours of beating them down. It became Desert Calm, and
That was something, man. That was,
yeah,
what was
we
it, guys?
we sat around. I got a bunch of younger folks that work for me, and being Veterans Day, they had a little thing at work today. It was pretty cool, and then the younger guys we sat around and they wanted to hear war stories, so I was just telling stories about being in Saudi Arabia and getting shot at with Scud missiles every day, and they're like, "Oh man, I can't imagine what that would be like." I said, after the first 5 or 6, you kind of got used to it, and it's just like just another part of the day.
Yeah. Trouble was you didn't know what they had in those missiles. If they had any
Nah,
kind of, if they had, some sarin gas or some kind of a toxic agent in them.
some chemical warfare
Yeah,
stuff in
chemical
it.
warfare, because that was some bad stuff there. But
I was telling.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say we were talking about it. Veterans. Guys that serve in the military together. You build. I mean, you got. I have friends all over the world,
Mhm.
but guys that I have served with, over the years, over a 20-year career, I still have guys that I keep in touch with, um, from every assignment that I was on, wherever I was stationed. I have people, that I still keep in touch with all the time, and they're all like brothers, to me, because at whatever wherever I was at, what we were doing, we had each other's back no matter what. And I don't know, they sometimes they're even tighter knit than family is, because especially the guys that I was in combat with when we were over the war, you know, those guys you're with every day, day in, day out, and I don't know, there's just a bond there that you just can't really explain it.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't have that ability to do that. I do know that every time I go into anywhere around Fort Knox, they always ask me if I'm a veteran to give me a discount. I'm like, no. And they're like, you sure you're not a veteran? I'm like, no, I'm not a veteran. Hey, well, you get 10% off. I'm like, I'm not a veteran. I'm not stealing anybody's glory there. I did not serve, and I'm not claiming any kind of veteran status. Like every time I go through airport, it's like, you a veteran? Like, I don't know why you would ask that. I mean, I don't, I don't look anything like a veteran. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not a veteran. Okay. Like, why are you asking that? Your backpack. I'm like, what's a backpack got to do with me? It's strange, Like,
You just look like you're up to no good.
I guess so. I look like a look like a troublemaker. I guess I don't know.
It is.
It's like, well, every time I'm in Radcliffe or even E Town, a lot of places, you a veteran? Like, no, okay. You get a discount. Like, I'm not a veteran. I don't want to be hunted down and put up on the wall of shame of trying to claim somebody else's glory there. I am not. I would. I would. You know. I regret a lot of times because I really needed the discipline. I. I needed the discipline of a military. I do like that kind of. I notice all my friends who are military always have a different level of discipline than I do. I was more of a laissez-faire, hands-off kind of a guy.
But you can always tell, at work, my guys mess with me at work that work for me. They mess with me every once in a while. They're like, "Oh yeah, we could tell you're in the military." I'm like, "Why is that?" And they're like, "Yeah, you just got that demeanor about you." I'm like, "Well, I don't know what demeanor it is. If it's because if you're not 10 minutes early to work, you're late.
Yeah,
You know, yeah, being on time, work hard. Those are values not necessarily instilled in the military. It is,
yeah,
but it's kind of like it's kind of like values that should be instilled in everybody, but they're not.
yeah. Well, it used to be standard values. It's just in the last 30, 40 years, everything's become lax and lawlessness has increased. But we want to thank all those who are veterans in our audience. I know a lot of you guys are
Yep,
veterans. We appreciate your service, appreciate your dedication, appreciate your family's dedication and service, and
indeed.
because the families of soldiers and Marines and sailors and airmen and seamen, all those different branches have have really suffered because I mean, the pay's not very good. You have to move a lot. You don't have a lot of communications. I mean, it's better now than, from what I understand, than what it was back even when you were in. that communications with your family for long periods of time and not knowing what's going on, and just that fear
Yep.
that your children have while you're off serving, and just that your wives and even husbands are having to step up and be single parents for those long deployments and things like that. It's quite a sacrifice for your country, and so the whole family, in a way, is needs to be recognized for that as well.
They need to have a military spouses appreciation day is what they really need to have.
Yeah, yeah, because it's hard on the wife
Oh,
and kids at home, man.
it is rough, and we
Yeah,
talked about that at work today too, because we have a few spouses of military, and we wound up, you know, kind of giving them a little tribute today too, and talking to them and thanking them for their service, because while we're out doing what we got to do,
they're
they're at
taking care
home
of everything
taking care of everything.
and trying to manage a budget with very little funds usually,
Yep.
unless they're working and making good money. But it's hard for them to work, take care of kids, and all that at the same time.
They're worried to death because they don't know if you're going to come back home or not.
All right.
And I can't speak for anybody else, but when I was in, even when we were in Desert Storm and stuff, that never crossed my mind. I never thought about it, but I'm sure the family did. They were worried to death about me at times, but you know, I never really thought about what would happen.
Yeah. When that first one happened, I was dating a girl who had been in the Navy, and she just finished up her third year, whatever. I think she was on a 3 year sign up or whatever, and she was out and going to college on the whatever the plan was that they had at the time where they paid the college tuition.
Hmm.
And she was out just that one semester, and we'd met, started dating, and she got called up because apparently you still can be called back up to like half of the whatever the enlistment date was or something.
Yep.
And they called her up, said, "Hey, you're active duty, report to." And they gave her a base, and she's like, "Gotta go." I was like, "Oh man!" And they put her on a ship, and she was gone. I think she was on like a medical ship or something, but uh, never saw her again. I mean, she's alive and well, but I never saw her after that. She, when she got out that time, she went to another school, and I'd already started dating somebody else. We weren't. I mean, we just hadn't been dating very long. Wasn't like we were engaged or anything, but just like, oh, gotta go. We had a bunch of guys at Techno that second time, and I think we had three Army Reserves, Air Force Reserve, and all those guys got called up. And
Oh
they
yeah.
were gone. We kept it, kept their position open, and they all came back, but um, they're gone for a couple of years. And they
I
came
got
back.
out of I got out of the second go around. Now my unit got stood up again, and a bunch of them went, and they had me slated to go, and I wound up getting pulled because I was telling the guys at work today that what I did. There was only 3 units in the Air Force that had that particular van that I worked out of, and I was only one of a handful of programmers that knew how to program the thing. So they were going to take me and put me on a different with a different group, different squadron, and send me because they needed bodies. And they pulled me off. They're like, nope, he's uh he's going to be coming down to McDill down at Tampa, and he's going to be on the network plan team for setting up for in theater if we have to go over there.
Hmm.
So luckily, I did not have to go that go around, but I was ready if I needed to be. But it was kind of nice not going, and I was
Yeah,
like, I'd seen about all the sandbox I wanted to see. Hey,
yeah,
and I know today is Veterans Day, but we'd be remiss to not say happy birthday to the Marine Corps who had
right.
their birthday
Yesterday,
yesterday.
yep, yesterday.
I am not a Marine, and I have a Marine that works, or ex-Marine. I guess once you're a Marine, you're
No,
always a Marine.
he's always a Marine,
Yeah, you're always a Marine.
unless you
And
get kicked out for doing something. Unless you get
Stupid.
kicked, well, yeah. Unless you get kicked out of the Marines, then you're not a Marine anymore. But as long as you retire as a Marine,
Yeah, I was. I got a buddy. One of the guys that works for me. He's Marines, and I'm always telling him Marine jokes and stuff, messing with him
crayon eaters, huh?
because it's so easy.
Crayon eaters. Oh yeah, yeah. I got some Marine friends. Of course, Paul is a Marine. He was
Oh yeah.
posting stuff yesterday about that. I made sure I put "Happy Birthday, Marine" on it, not soldier.
Oh yes.
Don't call him a soldier. Yeah, but one of the guys that worked for us, well, I worked my way up through that company. The company my dad started, I had to start at the bottom and work all the way to wherever position I was going to. I couldn't just move into whatever position I went. And one of my positions was in marketing, and I was marketing services. And the guy who was my boss was a West Point grad, and he went after West Point. He went into Rangers, became an airborne ranger, and then was in the airborne. Uh, he was like, what do they call it? It's not National Guard. They have their own branch thing. But he was a ranger on reserve, I guess, a ranger reserve.
Reserve command.
Yeah, and so they called him up, and he was gone. But he's pretty high up. I think he was a major. He was a major, but I mean, he went back into the military, and I mean, he come out as some kind of lieutenant colonel or something. But he was very regimented and taught me a lot, gave me a lot of disciplinary type direction. So he was an interesting person, and but he never talked about anything that went on over there. I had some other guys that were uh, the guys that ran the missile trucks, the trucks that had like 20 missiles on them and stuff like that. And
Oh
they
yeah.
pull up and shoot them off and stuff. And they were talking about how the tanks had these uh, bulldozer blades mounted on the front of them. And they were just going down through there, just shooting down these trenches that the Iraqis had set up, and just laying waste to them and just filling them in
Oh yeah.
as they went. I was like, oh my, that's. He said they was all trying to surrender. He said they were surrendering faster than we could shoot them. So they were throwing the guns and running for the hills. He said they just ran. He said, after the planes went through and took out they took out their supply lines, they were stuck out there. So they took all their supply lines out, and then they started trying to retreat. Well, when they started retreating, they took out all that stuff, and then all they were left with was these bunker things, and they just if they stayed in the bunkers, they were done.
Oh yeah.
Like, wow,
That's like when I
war.
was I was in Saudi Arabia. So we sat there, and our biggest thing was we got scudded about every night. Well, they pretty quickly learned that if they raised that scud up and pulled the trigger on it to fire it, we had pilots and stuff that were flying over, and we had systems that would let you know exactly where that thing was fired from,
Hmm.
where, when, where it was going, the whole 9 yards, and they'd fly in and just blow it to smithereens before they could even get it down. They was already on top of them and blowing them up. But when they did get them off, it's not real hard. They're like, well, those things they're dumb, dumb missiles. There's no guidance system on. They just raise them up and fire them. But when you're shooting at a city the size of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia,
Yeah,
you ain't got to be real accurate. You just got to get close
yeah,
and get it in.
like the buzz bombs over London. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
they
I
just
was telling I worked in a van that was inside a skiff, and we had it in. It was actually inside a tennis court. They cut a hole in the fence because it had a fence all the way around it, and there was a bunch of different things in there that were inside the skiff. And they had concertina wire around the outside, and they had the army, you know, guarding it so nobody could get in. It was controlled area and stuff. And we were sitting there one night, and the Scud was coming in, and the Patriot missile batteries fired on it. Well, they hit this scud, and they said it was probably 1,500 feet up above the van I worked in
Hmm.
when the Patriot hit it, and it detonated. It blew it up, and the warhead actually fell off and landed in a field about I don't know, eighth of a mile out in front of us, empty field, but it blew a big old crater in it. But it rocked our van when that missile hit it, and we had chunks of scud that came down where we were at, and we were driving or to get back and forth to where we stayed. We had this little, it was like a little SUV called a Pajero, a piece of, it was either Scud missile or Patriot or something, came down, went through the windshield, hit the steering column, took the steering column off, and went through the floor pan in the in the Pajero and
While it
destroyed
was
it.
being drove or just
No,
sitting
no,
there?
it was sitting outside the fence.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what we had took to work that night, and so it demolished that. So you know, it was real rough. They wound up giving us a Mercedes
Oh,
as our next car to run around in. I'm like, okay, I can deal with that.
wow.
But we had an 8 foot chunk of scud laying out on the street right out in front of where we were at, and that was the closest they got to us. And then I don't know if you remember on CNN, you had that idiot Peter Arnett. Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
He's sitting out there, and he's over there somewhere over there. He's like, "Oh, there was just a scud attack in the capital of Saudi Arabia in Riyadh, and it landed only 1,500 feet from a major military installation." It's like, dude, just tell them where we're at, so they can zero in on us.
Yeah. Wolf Blitzer
Oh yeah,
sitting in a hotel inside of the enemy territory. What an idiot! Like
nah,
trying to
yeah,
give them exact. And they were like, you remember when the Schwarzkopf pulled that thing where they had them come in and do the beach landing and all the press was out there?
oh
Like,
yeah,
we're
oh
actually, not anywhere near here.
yeah.
They were all out there because the media was
my
trying
buddy,
to help
my
the
buddy
enemy as
Jason
usual.
is joining us right now. He lives over in Virginia, and he was over there with us. He said they were aiming at our Pajero. They probably were.
Good deal. Well, we got Armed Citizen. Let's see. Well, I think our sponsors again, real quick, because we're dragging on here and getting late. And I don't know if you all are like me and Doug, but man, this time change, it's
Uh,
killing me this year. I'm just so tired.
Horrible.
As soon as the sun goes down, I'm like, it's bedtime. But we've got a subscribe star account. So if you guys would like to help us out with the show, so go to subscribestar.com/God, G-O-D, dash, that like thing between, the numbers on your telephone, and dash guns, and you can help us out. We appreciate all those that give to that. And we've got a few patches and stickers left. If you want to buy some of those, we've got a link to our store in the show notes. Also, you got the next two. Then we got the arm system.
Yep. So our next one is PowerTac lights. Hey, you've heard Troy I talk about it. You've seen mine. I actually have a new one that's a 4,000 lumen
Ooh,
light, and it is bright. And if you're looking for a good light for a weapon, for your pocket, headlamp for hunting, PowerTac makes a light for you. Go check our buddies out at powertac.com. Use the promo code God and Guns. They will give you 30% off for just listening to the show and using our promo code. So go check them out, powertac.com. Also, Crossbreed Holsters. If you're carrying a gun and you
why
want to
aren't you?
carry,
If you're not, why are you not carrying a
why are
gun?
you not carrying a gun, especially
Because you
in
don't have a
these
good
days?
holster.
That's right. If your holster's not comfortable, are you going to carry your gun, Troy?
Nope.
No. More than likely, you are not.
Well, I have carried guns in uncomfortable holsters, but
But it's
why?
not near as much fun, is it?
No.
Well, why do you want to do that when you got Crossbreed holsters out there? Crossbreed makes all kinds of holsters inside the waistband, outside the waistband, belly bands. They got for your pocket. Um, they got them for purses. Pretty much any way you want to carry a pistol, Crossbreed makes a holster for you for pretty much any gun you want to use. Troy and I both carry in the Super Tuck Deluxe. We love them. They are the most comfortable holsters you will ever put on. I promise you that. So go check
I
our
carry
buddies out.
this. I carry this bad boy in my
Is
crossbreed
it?
super tuck.
And
Woo.
that's a big boy right there.
Yeah.
They're heavy.
Cool.
I carry it. I carry my Glock 21 in a super tuck, and a fully loaded Glock 21 with 45 in it is not a light gun by any means, and you
Mhm.
don't even realize you got it on. They're that comfortable. But go check our buddies out at crossbreedholsters.com. Use the promo code over there, GNG. They'll give you 10% off for listening to the show as well. So take advantage of that discount code and go get you one. I still got to get Nathan to get me one for this little SIG. I want the mini tuck.
Me too. So here's a 9mm.
I
And here's a 45-70 government side by side. I don't know if you can
got
see
a
that.
9mm too. Look at that one. I got one.
So here's the difference between a 9mm. My fingers are too big, so I can get the top and the bottom. And a 45-70 government.
You should get that in a pistol.
No, I'm not. I'm not stupid. I have shot pistol cannons before, and my wrist don't need it because the arthritis is not enjoying that kind of stuff anymore. Even the 450 whatever or the even 44 magnums, they're just not enjoyable anymore.
Really,
Pistols.
dude, I love shooting my 44 Magnum.
Yeah. Well,
That
good.
is, it's a hand cannon, but it's
Well,
so
I mean,
much.
if you got an 8-inch barrel on it, I mean, it's not really. It's sort of like half of a rifle anyway. But just like I've got a 3-inch 44 Magnum, even with the rubber grips and stuff, it just like it's just.
I tell you what, I would love. I want a deer hunt with my 44 Henry and kill a deer with it. But it's cool carrying the lever action, and I can carry the 44 mag pistol
Hmm.
in my crossbreed holster in the chest rig, which is very easy to do,
Yeah.
and you don't even pay no attention to that thing as well. But I carry that thing hog hunting now. You put the chest rig on, and it's hard to swing that 6.5 Grendel with that 18-inch barrel and the 6-inch suppressor hanging out on the end of it. If you're in some thick stuff trying to find a hog that you've got
Hmm.
wounded, it's hard to swing that thing in the thicket. You just pull that 44 Magnum out and
Yeah,
go
punch
town.
that brush a little better too.
Yes, it does.
Armed Citizen of the Week, or this week.
Armed Citizen of the Week is from Milwaukee, Michigan. Mother and homeowner defends their children when an alleged intruder makes his way inside her home on Monday, August the 15th of 2022. While in the shower that morning, she heard her 12 and 14-year-old children screaming from the living room. Upon hearing the noise, the mother quickly raced to the bedroom, retrieved a pistol, and ran into the hallway to confront the threat. Once in the hallway, she discovered a stranger inside her home, acting erratically, with her two pit bulls already engaging the trespasser. The intruder, who appeared to be in his late 30s, despite the two dogs on him, continued to advance deeper into the home. As the mother recalled, he wouldn't stop coming. Fearing for her safety, but most of all for her children's safety, the mother opened fire on the intruder, killing him in the process. Initially detained by police for questioning, she was later released after questioning. The woman had purchased her gun a decade ago after discovering a man sleeping under her son's bed.
Ooh.
Man, I knew I'd be able to do it, she said, to protect my kids. And that comes to us from TMJ4.com, Milwaukee, Michigan.
Wow.
Man, she's had some bad luck. A
Yeah,
dude
I
sleeping
think
under
I'd
a kid's
move.
bed. Yeah.
Yeah, move out of Milwaukee if I was you. Take your guns with you, but I mean, whew.
No, right.
I don't know, man. A guy got killed in Linwood this week. I was taking Krista. I dropped off Krista to a women's study group in this daylight savings time. It's dark at 5:30 here,
Oh, it's
and
horrible.
so she can't see really good to drive at night. So I was on my way to go pick her up, and there was I had the scanner on, and I'm hearing an ambulance coming, and I hear the dispatch out of Hart County, and she's like trying to get ambulances from other counties to come help because they're like overrun. It was a full moon, all the crazies come out of a full moon, but it was a full moon. They had two ambulances en route to this shooting in Linwood. They had somebody having some kind of a problem over at Cabron. They had another problem over on the south, closer to Glasgow. They were dispatching, Hart County dispatches out of the state police post out of Bowling Green, I think. So, but that woman was, the dispatcher was frantic trying to get, they called in an ambulance from LaRue County to go help out because all their ambulances were tied up on runs. They had another uh, ambulance from Grayson County, which is on the west side of Hart County, trying to get to Cub Run to pick up that one. I had two ambulances pass me and a fire truck, and the 3 or 4 state troopers flying down 31. But a guy got in a fight with his daughter's boyfriend and shot him, killed him. Uh, so
Hmm.
he's in jail. And we had another person got killed over towards Three Forks Bacon Creek. Three guys came in, shot the guy, and was stealing. He caught him stealing, and engaged him. They shot him, killed him, and they caught those guys. They had another shooting somewhere down. I'm thinking Hart County. I mean, it's just crime is all around. I mean, you don't have to look far anymore. I mean, even out here in the sticks, there's lots of criminal activity. I'm always packing, so my kids are always packing because you just don't know. I mean, home invasions, that's where they're going to happen at home. So
Right.
we're ready for them. Try to make them, you try to do it without making them fearful. But his old grandma used to say, packed a 38 special. What do you need that for? What are you afraid of? And she said, not a blanking thing. The old meme. What are you afraid of? Not a thing. Leave the
My,
cuss word out.
I posted a thing the other day. My daughter had sent me the thing. I was like, oh, that is just too funny. It was Steve Carell, I think's his name. He was the office manager on that show, The Office. If anybody ever watched that show, but it was playing his music in the background. You see him, he looks and he gets a smile on his face, and he's like, "Oh yeah." And it said what the face every gun owner has when they hear a glass break downstairs at 1 a.m. in the morning. Gets to play with guns in the house.
Yeah, I usually just text Gunner until I ask him where he broke. Because we got,
As you do.
because if anybody's outside, I've got those cameras have all got like alarms on them. They send me a message. So I know if there's anybody outside, and then the dogs start barking if anybody gets close to the house or sees lights. And then the kids will say, hey, somebody's here because they're always up all hours of the night. I'm like, how y'all ever get any sleep? I mean,
No, I know.
be young and not need sleep. But no, we know if something's coming.
Speaking of sleep, man, I can't blame my dogs for this because they don't understand daylight savings time. I don't either, but they have not adjusted well either. So they normally get me up at 4:30 in the morning.
Uh-huh.
Well, now they're getting me up at 3:30 in the morning.
Whew.
They're ready. They're ready to eat. They want to go outside, and I'm like, oh man, please. I've been trying to stay up later, but still, if I stay up until 9 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock. I'm whooped. I'm like, I'm done. And then three
Mhm.
thirty, it's like, oh, here we go. Come on, Dad, let's go.
Brian says it's Glock o'clock when you hear a window break.
Glock o'clock. That's it.
Well, we're gonna wrap this up. I do have one last thing. I am going to be. We have a lot of people ask us about ham radio, how to get into it, all that stuff, and we've got some people that have told me that they're going to go take their test and stuff. So this radio is a Yaesu FT4X, brand new in the box. I've never even opened the box up. It came with a radio I purchased. And so I'm giving this
What?
away to one of our listeners who gets their ham radio license.
I got mine.
First, you have to send the thing that you're gonna get it, and then whoever sends me, I pass the test sheet, shows me that they passed the thing and the date. Take a picture of that, send it in to Troy at GuyandGunsPodcast.com. First person that passes the test after today's show and sends me that, I will send you a brand new Yaesu FT4X. It's a 2-meter 440 HT. It'll get you on the air. It's not got, it's not the be all end all of ham radios, but it's a lot better than I had when I started. I started out with the Bofang. In fact, I started out with this little Bofang right here, and I ended up putting a signal stick on it so you can actually talk to somebody. But I want to inspire as many people as can to get ham radio license. So you go, you study, you take the test, and you send me your thing showing that you passed the test after today's show, November 11th, 2022. And the first person I get that has the license. So as soon as you get the thing saying you passed, take a picture of it, send it to me at troy@troyclopton.com or troy@guidance.podcast.com, and I will mail that out to you. And if we get a good response out of that, we might do some more.
All right, Rick, Andy, there's your opportunity right
I
there.
bet I get 5 emails a week from you guys that, hey, I'm going to stay for my test. I'm going to get my test. I got to stay for my extra because it's been so long I've never forgotten everything yet. So I got to start all over again.
I'm studying for general now.
Yeah, so I'm wanting to get my extra, and I now it's wintertime. I can't do a whole lot outside, so I'm gonna be in here working. So you guys that are saying you're gonna get your ham radio license, here's some inspiration to do it. First person that gets it. I might have another radio right here, so maybe if you're second, I might have another. Yeah, I got another HT over here. It's not a Yaesu FT4X, but it is a.
I need an
It's a
Icon.
DMR radio.
I need an Icon 52. ID 52.
Yeah, okay, but you don't count.
No, I'm just saying. I need one of those. So if you come across one,
Here's my Icon 52. Can't really see it that good. Oh, wrong direction. Screen
see, I
didn't pick up too
need
good.
one for those Kentucky D-Star nets.
Yep,
So I can hit my hotspot in the house. I can sit in the house and talk
and not
on
get
like I
cold.
do on my Yaesu.
Oh, I did get a. Sorry to interrupt you. OpenSpot 4 Pro, and I got it working.
Did you?
And Larry has sent me the new program that I probably need to put into that radio because he told me to do that. Make sure it worked. And so, but Larry has set me up with all the memories and stuff to work with that new OpenSpot 4 Pro. So it's pretty cool. It's like the size of a mouse. It's a little bit smaller than this, probably about 2/3 the size of that. And you charge it up, and it works for like 2 days or something. Or I don't know how long. It's never went off. It's just a little bit bigger than that. It fits in your pocket. You don't have to plug it up. It'll hotspot it off of your phone. It'll hotspot it off of your truck Wi-Fi. That's what I do with mine. Or it'll hotspot it off of your house Wi-Fi. Wherever you're at, you got Wi-Fi set up. You can have your radio with you, and you can get on the internet. And it's a hotspot. We're talking about, so you guys that are into the digital modes. There's so much to ham radio. You can like spend every dollar you could ever make on ham radio, and still there'd be more to do. You still with me, Doug? I don't hear you. You're muted. Did I mute you? Did you mute yourself?
There. How about that?
Yeah, there you go. I'm muted now. Must have bumped something.
I picked my little USB hub up to show my Pi-Star.
Yeah.
And I pulled the cord out of it for my headset.
Oh, okay. I thought something wrong there. I can't hear Doug. But that's my ID 52. I use that a lot now, especially for, of course, D-Star. And this is the FT5. These are the ones I use for digital modes. They got the little stubby antennas on them, so they're easy to carry around. They don't flop over and stuff. Now, if I was outside, I've got longer antennas like this whip antenna here, the signal stick on this Bofang. You can't really see it, it's so thin, but it's a little whip antenna. It's good for outdoors, longer range stuff. I just
I got
use
a
that
signal.
like when I'm riding a 4 wheeler or something.
I got a signal stick on my Yaesu handheld, and I like it. I got a
Yep.
glow in the dark one. I got a glow in the dark one too. So
Yeah. All the
I don't.
tips on the signal sticks are glow in the dark. It's just the green ones are the ones that glow. The whole thing glows in the dark.
Hmm. Yeah, I want
All
to
right.
find a. I want to find a little handheld ICOM. That way, I can sit inside because I got on that net last night. Um,
Sit
that
in your
it
truck.
had with the D Star up in Kentucky. I had to go out to my truck to get on it. So, which
Well, you
yeah,
put that 4100 in your house.
what's that?
You ever put your 4100 in the house?
I know. I probably could, and it wouldn't take much antenna whatsoever to hit the Pi Star.
Well, I gave you antenna, so you got an antenna. Just got to stick it up on a pole.
Well, I don't know how I would get it in here. I haven't quite decided on that yet.
There's a drill bit about this long I use.
Uh-huh.
Hammer drill. Go right through brick.
It will. That's just like I posted that uh antenna mount that I put on my third brake light like we got the
Uh-huh.
for the life of me I can't think of the name of it, Troy. Um,
Bulletproof diesel.
bulletproof diesel. We put those on, and I posted a picture of it in the Icom 5100 after I got it in the truck and stuff. And this guy goes, you're not gonna get no signal out of that thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
real
experts.
real hams drill holes. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, well, okay. I said I got a 21 pickup truck that I just particularly don't want to drill a hole in just yet. So yeah, this
You're not
thing is just
hardcore enough yet, Doug.
no, it's
I'm
not.
not either. I've never drilled a hole in my truck yet.
I
Uh,
am not.
Even my 15-year-old F350, I'm not drilling a hole in it.
No.
There's no need to. There's options, But oh well, we're running off. People, they're all running to bed. You're about to run to bed. I'm about to fall out of this chair. All right, we're wrapping it up. Send your feedback to Troy at GuyGunsPodcast.com, or
Doug at GuideandGunsPodcast.com.
please tell your friends about us. Leave us an iTunes review. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/God and Guns Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. We have a Wimkin page. We're live on Rumble right now. So if you don't have a Rumble account yet, fix yourself, get your Rumble account, as Paul would say. We are on MeWe. I haven't been on MeWe for months now, probably 2 or 3 months. There's so many different things. I'm on. I was on Parlor. What's the new president one? Truth
Truth
Social.
Truth Social.
I am back on Twitter. I'm trying it since Elon took over. They let me have my account back. So that was the first thing. They kicked me off a little over a year ago. Off all the accounts on Twitter, but they let me come back on last week. So I brought one of the Twitter accounts back. But our website's GuideandGunsPodcast.com. Until next time, Doug, have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bibles closer. You guys have a good night.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate all your love, concern, and support. And y'all have a great weekend. Adios.
Everybody's over here talking on YouTube about not drilling holes in their trucks.
Don't drill a hole in your truck.
Don't punch a hole if you don't have to.
Good night, guys.
Good night.